Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous Redux version. I'm your host, Colors Fade. It's episode 8. I wanted to go to the Blackwing library, so we're going to do that. Wait, what's our Abyssal Corruption? Yeah, we need to rest first. I think that was what happened at the end of last episode. So while I'm rolling through this boring part of getting here and resting and all that jazz and selling gear, I want to address a couple of comments from the first video that arrived today as I'm recording this episode. And these comments were well-meaning. Johnny Galt was the one who posted them. He had some really well-meaning comments, but they did kind of amount to, in a way, sort of, you're playing the game wrong. But I thought they were really well-meaning comments, and they're smart comments. And I wanted to address them because if we were streaming, this is the kind of back and forth I would have loved to have had. One of the first points that Johnny brings up is that to use pets as tanks and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, I haven't given the pets too much of a thought because I saw the mounted combat in the game, and I saw it in reviews, and it was not anything that I personally wanted to engage in. I find the idea of mounted combat kind of silly, and so it just made me think I don't really want to use the pets. But that kind of goes back to me being old school. Pillars of Eternity had a couple of pets in him, and I didn't really like them, and I didn't really like manage them all the time. I felt like I had to micromanage them too much. And I come from the land of Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale and all the Infinity Engine games, and you didn't have pets, So that was just my take on it. But I did do some research, thanks to Johnny, and as you can see here, I'm going to post a screenshot of a pet that I got off Reddit. You can see how powerful they get. I mean, they can get really powerful. So in my Lich playthrough that I'm kind of running concurrently with this one, I have hired a couple of mercenaries and done the pet thing, and it's pretty cool having a couple of pets running around. The dog and the wolf, by default, have a trip attack along that goes. It's automatic with their bite attack. They have a chance to trip. So, like he says, it's crowd control, and it's nice to have them there. I still do feel like the micromanagement of them is kind of a pain in the butt because the user interface only allows you to show 6 characters on the screen, so you constantly have to do this scrolling thing to see if your pets are damaged or not, and do they need healing and all that kind of stuff. But it's 2 more characters in your party, basically. If for my Lich playthrough, I have 2. You can have more pets. The thing is, I mean, if anybody, and Johnny made a funny comment about I can't wait for the rage quit. Well, I've already beaten the game on normal, and what I did was I just used a ton of summons. I ended up with 3 classes that kind of had either specialized in conjuration or they dabbled in conjuration a lot. So I had my main character as an Eldritch Knight that could conjure. I had Nenio as a conjurer, and I had the cleric, Sociel, who could also conjure. And so, like, there's a fight at the end of Nenio's quest in the big dungeon that is basically it's a little Dark Souls Elden Ring like the Elden Ring fight. The final one in the game is Radagon and the Elden Beast, which if you just watched my series, you know that's how that fight goes back to back. This is actually a triple threat fight. You get some enemies, and then you get some more enemies, and then you get some more enemies, like 3 stage. I don't know how many conjured creatures I used. It was at least a dozen, if not more. So I know the value of having a whole bunch of other critters besides just your 6 characters. So the pets are valid. Yeah, play with the pets. I haven't been playing with them, but I'm going to take Lan because I looked on Reddit and saw that there's a build for him to turn him into a pet class, and I'll probably hire a mercenary too, a mercenary cleric to handle the job. So yeah, you'll see some pets in the upcoming part of this episode. The second thing that Johnny brought up was if you want to be a battle mage, why aren't you playing a magus? Now I've kind of gone over through this on the channel before, but I'll go over it again here because it's kind of important. I don't play a mage just because to me it doesn't really work for what I want to do with a battle mage. I again come from Baldur's Gate classic fighter mage build. I actually kind of miss the class restriction of of the fighter mage build. You had to be a non-human to be a fighter mage, or you had the dual class, which basically meant you were going to take like 9 levels of fighter, and then you had to get enough wizard levels to surpass that before you could get your fighter abilities back. So, but the mages, which I really wish they would have just called it a spell sword, because to me that word conjures up what the magus does. To me, the magus is a one-trick pony. It's limited in its spell selection because it's a sorcerer class, and it's limited in what it can do with weapons and stuff. I mean, really, you just want to grab a scimitar and go. Ragongur, I played that character a lot in Kingmaker. I liked him, but I don't love the class for 2 basic reasons. One, it only has a medium base attack bonus all the way through its progression. So there's the magus. It's got a medium base attack bonus. And then down below, you can see the Eldritch Knight has a high one. Now, granted, it's going to take you a while to get there. You can see I'm taking Knife Master. I'm Thassalonian Specialist. It's still going to take me 8 levels before I get to dip into the Eldritch Knight and start getting the high base attack bonus of the Eldritch Knight. This is a character that I completed the game with, who is what I'd consider my ideal Eldritch Knight. He went Legend, Mythic Path. You can see his attacks, 57, 57, 52. He's got a ton of attacks, dual wielding those kukris. He critted all the time. He was an absolute monster. And the cool thing was, going Legend, Mythic Path was that after you got Eldritch Knight, you can only take 10 levels in. So after that, you're free to take other things like Spawn Slayer and stuff and continue to get that high base attack bonus and just turn it into a beast. But the other thing is, the reason I like playing an Eldritch Knight is because I want a full wizard. My Eldritch Knight has tons of super useful spells like True Seeing and Haste and all sorts of other spells that are really useful for my entire party. Stone Skin and Mind Blank and Resist, whatever kind of element you have. My current character, sure, yeah, it's going to take him a while to get there, but he'll get there. He'll eventually surpass a magus in terms of the combination of offensive firepower and the breadth of spell selection that helps the team. With a magus, your spell selection really only helps you. And even then, you're limited. If you use buffs, if you buff yourself, you're taking away your ability to deal spell damage through your sword. So I'm just not a fan of the magus. I get it. It's a neat class. It's a neat alternative to playing an Eldritch Knight. But to me, the Eldritch Knight is much more classic fighter mage, or at least the way I used to play it in Baldur's Gate. So that was kind of that discussion going on that Johnny was having there. And so the final thing I wanted to address from Johnny's comments, because he had a lot of them, and it was kind of a fun back and forth, was he said, stop trying to buck the system, stop trying to use Nenio as this and use this character to do that and stuff like that. And this just, I understand his comments and I understand they're well-meaning, but this just comes down to personal preference. I mean, I'm going to do that. I'm going to buck the system the way I want to. Now, I understand that that's part of the reason I'm playing on normal instead of core or harder, is because I want to play the game the way I want to play it. I understand that if you're going to play on core or harder, you have to min-max the heck out of this game. So that means you really need to do your research. Out of all the party-based CRPGs that I've ever played, from Baldur's Gate to Pillars of Eternity to this, I would say this is the one where you need to do the most research if you are going to play the harder difficulty levels. You just really need to get in there and dig and figure out, how do I optimize pets? How do I optimize mounted combat? What are the strongest classes? And let me make sure that I get mercenaries to hire them if you don't want to use toy box, if you don't want to use some kind of cheat console or something to respec the companions in the game. Yeah, you got to do a ton of work on those. And so that's why I'm going to play on normal, and I'll probably, I don't know that I'll ever go beyond that difficulty level. As long as I'm having fun, I don't really care. I am getting better at the game as it goes on and on and on, because obviously, nobody has full knowledge of something when they first start playing it. And I've got gaps in my knowledge and I'm learning it as I go. But I think I think core difficulty would be the hardest level that I would actually want to play at, and I'm not entirely certain that I even want to try that. I might, but that's that's in the future. That's down the road. So anyway, that was my point about all of that. I just wanted to say thanks, Johnny, for all the feedback, because getting all of those comments on a video is great. It's also great for the algorithm, and I'm just sad that I wasn't streaming so we can have more of a conversation about it. But the bottom line comes down to I'm appreciative of comments like that. I really appreciate it when people feed me their knowledge. I try not to take it personally, even though it felt a little like you're doing it wrong. But I do appreciate the comments, and I enjoy the game, so I'm going to play the game kind of more the way I want to play it, but I am going to take that feedback and try to use it. And so off we go. All right. Let's go see what we can do with these turkeys.
What's that?
Can't remember exactly how this conversation's supposed to go. But here we are. People are dying. Except a stocky knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you, whose armor is spattered with blood. He greets you with a deep, booming voice. They burn well enough, don't they? Cursed traitors, Aurilu's minions. These vermin infiltrated the Crusader forces and aided the demons from inside the city, but I caught them. I am Captain Caleb Sazumal, and these men are my subordinates. A strange feeling rises up in you. It is pure instinct. You don't know what you're about to do, but you are certain it's right. Examine the Crusader's armor and the symbols on it. Oh, I failed perception. I can succeed at that. Caleb is talking too loudly, all while casting sidelong looks at you. You have seen similar behavioral quirks before in liars. Oh, trickster mythic path. Ooh. Put out those flames. I order you in the name of Baphomet. That's the corner of Darren's mouth are twitching like he's struggling with all his might not to burst out laughing. Woljif glares menacingly at Caleb. Didn't you know, mortal? We're everywhere. Sir, we don't know you were one of us. You heard him. Put the flames out. Oh, that's funny. Quickly, you worms. If you keep dawdling, I'll throw you in the furnace at the Grey Garrison. Caleb grunts in wordless terror and desperately fights the flames. Every so often, he sends murderous looks at his associates, whom he has been clearly already condemned to death. Whoever doesn't pull his weight is a dead man. I'll take the other two into Baphomet's forces. Oh, the music is cracking me up. You blithering idiots. You cack-handed dimwits. You empty suits of armor. You watch in satisfaction as Caleb and his two lackeys rush to put out the alchemist's fire. Their armor becomes covered in soot, and welts rise on their skin from the flames. Succumbing to another strange oratorical impulse, you chivy them along with barked orders and florid invective. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig the Grey Garrison library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. Do it. Oh. I do enjoy your sense of humor. It's quite fiery. Oh, funny. There's plenty more where that came from, sir. I'll do everything you ordered. And just as soon as those Crusaders arrive, they'll be dead meat. I'll go make sure that we get make it another 2 barrels of alchemist fire from the Grey Garrison store. Things are gonna burn right up in there. Yeah, off you go. You goofballs. Alright, storyteller. The blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its years heavily, which is unusual for members of his race. Thinning gray hair, a ragged beard, sightless milky eyes, pale, papery skin, covered in age spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the face of elves, even on their deathbed, has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. Hello, I'm Storyteller, and I wish to thank my rescuers. That is you, if I'm not mistaken. Ha! It's the first I've heard of this venerable old-timer like that having a street name. Who are... Okay. Alright, I'm taking you to Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks. Do you want to go to Defender's Heart now? No, because there's loot here. Alright. King. Books. There's a ton of lore in the books, of course. Bookcase full of text. Trying to reach that, but I'm just going to loot everything out of here, and then I tend to take the books and just put them in my private stash. There is full plate. What is Sela wearing? Half plate, full plate, 9. Okay, 1 max dexterity, so it should be this exact same with either one. Right. Knowledge arcane. Little me. Enormous black rift, yeah. Okay, and then wasn't there garbage can? Garbage. The garbage will do. Oh, barrel of flammable alchemical substance. Okay. Burning things. Yeah, like, so I beat the game once, and now I'm playing this for you guys, this version. But I also started another playthrough because I really do want to try the Lich Mythic Path. Just because I want to see the combined spell book with an Eldritch Knight. I want to see how it just feels. So I'm kind of doing that right now. Alright. Taking you to Defender's Heart. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. How come you didn't burn in the fire? Tell the truth, I myself do not know. Okay. Well, who are you? Yes, she'll tell you. I'm just gonna exhaust his dialogue here. Alright. Taking you to Defender's Heart. Yes, we'll just go straight there. That's nice. We get to skip right out of there. I'm just over here crunching on my cough drops. The COVID cough is going to stick with me for a while. I've talked about that before. My darn lungs. They're awful. I blame my mother. My mother, who I love, by the way. But I blame her. She's a heavy cigarette smoker when I was a kid. And so, not only am I certain that I got some cigarette smoke while I was in the womb, I'm also pretty certain that the secondhand smoke I got for the first 19 years of my life, 18, 19 years, was not helping things. Don't smoke, man. It hurts your kids. I want to hang on to this cold iron stuff for right now. I don't know that I need to, but what is this? Padded armor of focus. Concentration tracks. That's interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Darn it. Okay. Where is... did I accidentally sell him that dagger? I gotta find out. I don't see it. Okay. I probably chose the wrong thing then at some point in time during some dialogue. There's that, you get the dagger, and mine is gone now. I didn't know about this. There's a lot of stuff in this game that you can't really know about unless you like read about it, but there's that purple dagger that you got earlier, and you have to make a specific, one of two specific dialogue choices later on. And if you don't make those dialogue choices, then the knife disappears, and it actually counts as a certain kind of gem that you need for the secret ending if you want to try and get that, which I would like to do someday. So it's kind of annoying, all this. Like any other normal video game, CRPG would have flagged that item as a quest item and not let you sell it. But this game's like, you can sell it and you can use it in a dialogue option and it'll just magically disappear and you don't even realize it. And it's a little strange how they do stuff like that. So they make some really weird choices in this game. Which again, I mean, what you're doing is you're playing a Dungeons and Dragons game with a dungeon master that has hard coded everything. So there's no leeway, you know. It's not like you're playing with a real person who can tell you, "Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna let you lose that purple dagger here. You need that for later." But a little bit of foresight from the developers someone might have said, you know, I think it's probably a pretty good idea if we let them know they're gonna lose this purple dagger with this dialogue choice. Anyway, 20 minutes into this video, the point I want to make is everybody should be free to play the video games the way they want to. So, you play it your way, I'll play it mine. But believe me, my choices are deliberate. Now, granted, they're based on what I know about the game and my own knowledge and my own logic and reasoning. And if there's a gap in my knowledge, then certainly that could affect things. But I'm very much making my choices in a deliberate fashion here. I mean, in one of my playthroughs, somewhere along the way, you get the Triceratops Pet, and I had it, and I mounted it, and I was like, I can't do this. I just can't. It's not my thing.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
All right, you guys attack that. Oh, and we have a bard over there. Lan, shoot that guy. Yeah, because you're so good at that. Oh, you color sprayed me. And you got all three of them. But guess what? Guess what? You got smacked. Look at you guys. Yikes. Yeah, I had everybody over there. All facing the same direction. It was interesting reading or watching Mortissimo Gaming's review of this game because I watched it very early in my first playthrough, and he said that one of the drawbacks was how big some of the enemies get later in the game, and they do get really big, but I didn't feel like it was a drawback. I just thought it was cool. There are some gigantic enemies later in the game. You're fighting big Balors and stuff, and it's pretty darn awesome. I really enjoyed some of the last portion of this game. I enjoyed a huge chunk of Act 5. I have to say, I really did. Alright. Let's see if... Oh, Wolf, you do have this, don't you? And you got this. Great. Okay, use this. Let's go kill these guys. Because what are they? They're undead. You, Darren, why are you so slow? What's going on here? You're staggered. You're still staggered from the fight earlier? Really? Yeah, she is. You would. Wow. 45 sneak attack? Oh no, she's dead. Okay, just do that again. I didn't realize he was still staggered. He's all creeping along there like he's got a load in his pants. How did he get staggered? Oh, it must be some ability that they had. Okay.
My tail is restless.
Yeah, I know. Alright, we will buff everybody again. Let's try this again. I don't need characters dying on... Grab that one a little too soon. He's got a conflict because of his armor that he's wearing.
I'll make my own legend.
You can do this. Doink. This is a buff edge. Shield faith. Yeah, let's... Let's try this again.
Yet another obstacle.
Okay, so he got staggered right away. How did that happen? Staggered. Doesn't say though. Oh, yeah, no, it doesn't say anywhere in here. How did that happen? Okay. What if we get you ready to do this then? Do it. There. Now move over here. That was nice. See, that went better. Oh my goodness, we got a big thing there. Yeah, I'd like to know how he ended up staggered. That was a little perplexing. Oh, big spiders.
I found something.
Tempest. What is that thing? Let's take a look at those weapons. Tempest or double axe. She can't even use it. Who can? Oh, because it's a proficiency group. Exotic, that's why. Icebreaker, a battle axe. Let's see. What's that compared to her weapon? It's cold iron enhancement +1. It only does 1d8 +1 compared to her 1d10 +1 that's going on. So 8 to 17 versus 8 to 15, and it's got the same critical threat. 20 times 3, so there's no sense switching her up for that. There is the Darkhorn Glaive, which is always fun. But I'm not going to have her do that. I could have her use it. The Darkhorn. But I'm not going to. What does this thing do? Attacks with the bonus. Okay, this. Blah, 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 blah. It doesn't say. Can't remember what it does. I'm not sure it does anything. If it doesn't say it does, then it probably doesn't do anything. It's just +1 evil. Is this it? Is this everything? Attacks and wine cellar? Oh, no. There's got to be what? There's got to be more here, isn't there? Can't get over there? Okay. Well, I thought there was more than that. Okay. Apparently we're done. For some strange reason, I have a recollection that you could get through that gap, but I guess not. Companion quest, Stolen Moon. Oh yeah, Wolger still wants to have a talk with us. Clerics of Desna have joined the Crusaders. Thieflings have joined the Crusaders. Alright. Bring Storyteller to Defender's Heart. I have to talk to him. Scout the Tower of Estrad. Oh yeah, so is that what we have left down here? Yes, and then Gorm's Mansion. Oh right, Gorm's Family Secrets. What? You need the following companion to enter this location. Oh, I don't have her with me? Okay. Well then, we'll swap her for Wolgif. Evade. I probably should fight those. They give you a little bit of gear, but give you a couple more things to sell. Unless they're a spider. Unless they're Lamo spiders. They got no gear. Turkeys. Here I am. I should fight those guys and get some loot. Yeah. All you're getting out of that is a mess. Well then, we'll go do our talking. All the talking. What the heck? Where am I? Yeah. Just would have been a better decision to have you go straight to the tavern when you come zoning here. Really not sure why they made that decision to do that. Okay, storyteller. Where is he? There he is. He's sitting over here. And where's our friend Woljif? Let's talk to him first. Oh, is he downstairs? Probably. Where's the basement? Over here. Oh no, he's not downstairs. He's hanging out in the kitchen. Well, of course he is. That's where all the food is.
Psst, look, Chief, I got something to show you. Ta-da! A real beaut, isn't it?
The moon of the abyss. You've been searched by guards. How'd you manage to hide the amulet?
Thieves have their ways.
Did you really have the amulet the whole time?
Since that night, Chief, Melround didn't even set eyes on it. While he was dealing with the golem, I sneaked past them, and that was that.
Okay. Why'd you steal it?
Why, he asks? It's expensive, pretty. And you know, it's my amulet, actually. Not meaning I stole it, but I mean, this is my inheritance. My grandma and I were poor. All we had was a jewelry box with the moon in it. She used to store it under the floor in the basement, and she'd take it out sometimes just to look at it. She was always nicer when she had a few drinks in her, so I could ask her things then. One time I asked where she got it from, and she said it was from a demon. You know, the demon who was my grandfather. He said the moon was to be passed down. My ma was good for nothing and nobody, so that's why Grandma decided to keep the amulet for me. She used to say it would be mine when I grew up, but she couldn't wait until I grew up. She squandered my inheritance when she became a drunk. Took it to Fileman's shop and pawned it. He gave her some coppers for it, and she didn't even haggle. Just grabbed them and ran back to the tavern before last orders. I've been going to Fileman's to look at the moon ever since I was a kid. He chased me away, but I just kept going back, so eventually he gave up. He didn't skimp on security. The place was like a fortress, so he wasn't worried about a street rat like me pinching anything. Even when I got more skilled, I couldn't get any closer to it. One day, I had no one to go with. Another day, there were only oafs who'd never stolen anything more than a church donation box. But when Charisme had planned everything out, I realized I had a chance to get the moon and move away from here. Maybe to Garen. I hear it's warmer there. I've stayed with the family for too long.
I like his story. I feel bad for him.
Family, friends. You know, some people don't believe in gods, so gods don't exist for them. And I don't believe in family. All that heartwarming talk about sticking together. Ugh. People like to say those things, but when push comes to shove, Sister Charisme used to say that us tieflings were one family, and you see how that turned out. And did you hear that excuse for an apology? I did the right thing, and I was right to want to run when I just planned on stealing the Moon of the Abyss. Everything turned out as it should. Whatever you think, I owe you. I'm not just a thief, I have my own business selling things. Thanks to you, I'm still in the family, and we have the black market sewn up in this city. It's a good way to sell valuables. So, if you need anything, a scroll or something, just say the word. I have a little portal to our people in Nerosian. You put a note there, and you get what you need. I can't get you anything big, but what they do have is all high quality. Nothing's too good for you, Chief. What's mine is yours. For a price, of course.
So, let's see. Show me what you can get using your thiefly connections. It's got, Estoc of Purity, Gnome, Hooked Hammer of Discipline. Wand of Grease. Ooh. Interesting. So he's got a few things there. Nothing too major, but that's cool. Well, let's go talk to Storyteller. The old elf. Is that you, my savior? I recognize your footsteps. All right, allow me to thank you for saving me. Please accept a humble gift of my appreciation. Erebeth has explained why you were looking for me. I warned the authorities of Canabras that the local Wardstone had been desecrated. They waved off my warning and paid for their inaction. I've examined many Wardstones, but only the one guarding Canabras did I sense a flaw, a spot of corruption inside. A vulnerability the demons will surely use. They are able to spread the blight inside the Wardstone, corrupt it, and make it their weapon. It frightens me to think what it will be capable of. The Wardstone must be destroyed. Alright. What blight is concealed? I'm afraid I don't have an answer to your question. We need to understand how the Wardstone was created, and that is hidden from me. Have you heard of the Red Morning Massacre? You mean the Red Wedding? A dreadful morning remembered with fear even by those not yet born at the time. A demoness called Minago invaded the city with a crowd of her followers and started to do what demons do best: kill and desecrate. They say they covered the Wardstone with pieces of dead bodies, splashed it with blood from top to bottom. Could such an abomination darken the radiance of the gift of Iomade herself? The locals think it's impossible, but who knows? It was not the last attack. Many demon leaders brought their unholy forces here, even the terrifying Baelor Karemzada. Their attacks were rebuffed, but they still reached their target. I think this is when the seed of corruption was planted in the stone. It wouldn't have grown on its own, but Dascaria himself has now come to take advantage of this weakness, to open the abyss that has been festering for years, unnoticed by the people of Canabras. And when the demon lord struck the blow, the weakened stone gave in. Now it's in demon hands, and nothing is stopping them from spreading the blight throughout the entire stone, and from it to the other stones along the whole perimeter of the world wound. Alright. Well, I'm just going to click through the rest of his dialogue here. And in that case, you must make every possible effort to destroy the corruption. Unfortunately, I don't know where to get an instrument powerful enough to banish it from the Wardstone. As far as I know, there is nothing like it in Canabras, but the demons might have something. Oh, so we still have the purple knife. I just couldn't see it in my inventory, apparently. Okay, here we go. I heard the dying roar of Tarendula, the silver dragon, the protector of the city. At the same time, I felt a wave of unfamiliar power sweep over me from head to toe. I would advise you to go where Tarendula perished and search for something. I'm sorry I can't be more specific, but intuition and a strange sense of rightness tell me to point you there. I found this in the square where Tarendula perished. What do you make of it? Even from here, I can feel the strange energies emanating from this object. If you don't mind, I will examine it, using my method. I'll try to see the past of its owner, their emotions, and shreds of their memories. Maybe it'll help us better understand what we're dealing with. Hunger. My many legs bring me into the lair to my mother's feasting hall. Her swollen body overfilled with food is so huge that I have to look at it with all my eyes at once. On top of her scrawny little head with a long beak that is always yearning for more food. You feel feverish, and your chest, where the mysterious wound is concealed, feels hot. Your mind is flooded with a wave of visions. Visions that repeat the words of the old elf. Mother greets me with placid screech. Stupid, greedy wench, whose only achievement is my birth. A creeping, wingless creature. It's your fault I have no wings. A symbol of greatness, a birthright I should have received from my mighty father. Mother points me to a crowd of whimpering subjects, suggesting I fortify myself with their pathetic flesh. Not today. I summon my spawn, and they fly to me, enveloping me in a teeming cloud. Like dark, buzzing wings, they unfold behind my back and lift me up. I assume that this is the Dascari. Mother has always been stronger, but she did not expect this. I dive on her and rip her limp, bloated body with my claws. Ichor splatters. The bone spurs on my heels sink into her flesh. I clench her pitiful tiny head and tear it off along with the shreds of meat. Victory! I am the strongest, and I am the son of my winged father. The elf grimaces with distaste. His voice becomes normal again. Appalling. Stories like that are the most difficult ones to keep with me. Does this knife belong to a demon? A new vision, much stronger one, engulfs the old elf. The malevolent undertones vanish from his voice as it grows more determined and tired. Even looking at the Wardstone is difficult. Despite the corruption nesting in it, it still has an aura of strength. Your fingers clench the stone hilt so tight it hurts. A little spot on the flawless surface of the Wardstone draws your attention. It looks like a butterfly, corruption in the guise of something utterly harmless, but it will grow. You swing and stab the butterfly with the knife as hard as you can. Your fingers cramp painfully. A howl invades your ears. Light, white light everywhere. A stone knife falls from the old elf's hand. Out of breath, he drops to his knees. He is trembling, the terror on his face so unlike his usual dignified manner. What was that? That was not the past. That was something that is yet to happen, or rather might happen. One of the roads to the future. In one of the possible futures, this item will help you cleanse the Wardstone, or destroy it. You feel a longing to take the stone chisel and plunge it in your chest, right into the wound that has opened up in it. It is hard to resist this feeling, but at the last moment, your self-preservation instincts take over, and you manage to keep control of your own hands. Never before has anything like this happened to me. But how? I am not an oracle or a prophet. Or is this another riddle from the past that has caught up with me? I must find out. Seeing stories that have happened is one thing, but seeing stories that are yet to happen. I don't know why this is happening now, but there is one thing I'm sure of. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign of coming changes. I shared your vision, and this knife tempted me. Did you see what I saw? This has never happened before. Could it be the magic of the object that you brought me? I sense dark energies in it that can cloud and charm the mind. Be careful with this item. It may have tried to influence you, but you managed to overcome its power and subdue it. Or perhaps something else happened to us, something we don't yet understand. Alright, who were you in your vision? I don't know. Someone strong and desperate enough to resort to extreme measures. I felt that what I was doing had to be done. Alright. Powers are amazing. A few minutes ago I would have agreed with you, but the thing that has just happened, it disturbs me. My gift is never manifested like this. Something has changed. Please examine the items I am carrying. Let me touch them. Radiance. Powerful forces lie dormant in this sword. It is used to belong to an incredibly bright and daring soul. Proud Tarendula, protector of Canabras. Oh yeah, over the scale. And then it touches Finian. What a peculiar weapon. I sense intelligence in it, but it seems dented. Aha, Grandpa Elf. Watch where you're poking your fingers. It tickles. And then the golden buckle, an old thing created long ago by divine will. Alright. 5 vials of magic essence, and he can retrieve that object. Broken buckle and necessary materials. So. Alright. We have more important things to do. Can I help you? I appreciate it. I have no reason to believe that somewhere in Canabras there's a manuscript authored by an elf from Kyonin who witnessed Earthfall. For personal reasons, I would like to examine it, but no matter how hard I try, I've failed to find it, even in the Black Ring Library. Yeah, we know where that is. Notes for storyteller. Alright. Alright, that's good enough for now. That's party time. Excellent. Let's rest so we can get our spells back, and then we'll head out for Horgus Gwym's place. Oops. Wrong thing there.
Nenio, you've got a fast pair of legs on you. That's a real compliment coming from me. Sometimes even I struggle to keep up with you, and I was always one of the fastest runners back with the Thieflings.
Experiments facilitate the development of this skill.
Alright. Off we go. Off we go through another area that we don't actually need to be in. I think the appropriate term for this would be padding. when you see a game takes 100 hours to finish, you have to wonder sometimes how much of that is padding, how much of it is just walking through areas that you don't actually need to walk through, that you shouldn't have to walk through. Things like that. Let's go do Wardstone, or at least get it started. Mr. Wardstone. Do we have anybody behind us? Yes. Okay. Doink. You shoot her.
The wrong mongrel.
You were too close to that person, so you might as well go for him. Let's see, that's Darren. What do we have? You go get that person. You go get that person.
Guide my blade.
I will go that way. I think we have everybody except Darren. You should shoot this guy too. That's some splattering going on. Oh yeah, baby. Finian doing the work. Right. Excellent. Onward. Onward. The Tower of Estrad. Yeah, failed ritual site. We could go there first, because it's just going to be one of these grab little doohickeys. Yep. I don't know that part of the game was necessary. Like, I mean, somebody had to spend some time implementing it, and I would have been like, nah, that's not, we don't have to do that. If we feel like the player needs more goodies for crafting and stuff, then we should just put them in more chests. Oh, there you are at last. You certainly took your time. I thought perhaps you got lost on the way here. I was already regretting not drawing you a map. It's a tragedy to see one's house in such a sorry state. And I always had a few guards in my service, you know. I hope those blockheads died honorably. I didn't simply flee at the first sign of danger. My manor, you see, contains several items that are of great value to me. I wish to retrieve them before they are discovered by my fellow citizens, who in the current chaos seem to have taken to thieving and marauding like ducks to water. So here's what I want you to do. Take a stroll through my house, peek into the rooms, and if you find anyone, kill them on the spot. That'll teach any other opportunists to stay away from Wardstone's manor. While I was standing here by the entrance, I could clearly hear the sound of someone rooting around inside. Any possessions of mine you find in there, you can keep. It's all as good as lost to me anyway. When you're sure the house is empty, give me a signal from my study window. Wave a torch around or something like that. You can decide when you get there. I've done many things in my life, but playing the part of an intrepid mercenary, rummaging through someone else's tastelessly decorated and poorly planned mansion is a novelty to me. How droll. I deeply regret that you had to participate in this, my dear Count. Oh, come now. I love a good caper, even when the setting offends my aesthetic sensibilities. Alright, let's go. Well, get on with it. Are you waiting for a special order? I shall await your signal. Yes, Horgus, I'm sure you will.
Open your heart to me.
Okay. Miss Buffage. Holy cow, what is this? Cure moderate wounds. Doink. Get things rearranged here. Dunk, 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 dunk. Restore. And we have loot. Lootle the Headless. Hey, look what we have here. Should probably take care of anybody in there first. Oh my goodness. That was Finian getting his full sneak attack in there. That was kind of awesome. He did like a circle move. He like spun around like it was going to be a flying kick or something. That was kind of funny. That was really interesting, actually. Alright, got a little blood spatter on my face. They did add some nice details to this game. I think one of the things I really like that keeps me coming back to it is just how kind of like smoothly it plays as far as moving your party around on the map and all of this jazz, you know. I mean, Baldur's Gate was fantastic in its day, but that engine is so dated, so as much as I love that story and those characters and playing that game, I have a hard time going back to it. And I kind of like to always be playing at least one CRPG because it's just in my blood. It's in my DNA. This is what I grew up on. Chains, handcuffs, shackles, a collection to rival the prisons. Well, you know, set of collars. Horgus, whips. Variety of whips and floggers. Oh, Horgus. You dirty, dirty man. Actually, those are probably all camellias. Probably. Okay, what do we have here? Back over in this direction. The library. Save the rest of the buffs for the upstairs.
No. Baby.
Oh my goodness. Somebody's afraid. What are you doing, Camellia? Oh, well. Victoria. Hunting it down, hammering it. It's very nice. Well, well, well. His head chopped off, Prometheus. Alright. Scroll of Bone Shaker. Let's see. Upstairs. Do we have anything down here? Yep, there's a room there. Open that door. Open this door. Oops. Where's the gizmo for that one? Okay. Camellia. Can you get close enough to tell me where it is? Right there.
I hope you appreciate this.
Well, kind of. Is there anybody in here? Nope. Sophisticated instruments of torture. Oh my goodness. Wow. Horgus has quite the affinity for S&M, doesn't he? And a door that we can't get through. This is the really awkward part to me. Is there's this door here. A heavy blunt object was clearly used to try to break down the door. The lock is broken and the door cannot be opened, and it just sits there and it's like, why did we do that? Why did we even put a door there to begin with?
We will be victorious.
Okay, hold on. You turn on this guy. You shoot him. You shoot him.
You won't survive me.
The world in crimson.
Ooh. Sheila. Lots of lootage. Very nice.
I am helpful.
Oh, and there we go. The silver robe. First piece of gear for me. Wear a +1 bonus to all saving throws against fear effects. He can wear this, but it's padded armor and you get a 5% arcane spell failure chance. It gives you concentration checks, which are nice. There's no reason to put that on him though and lose all of that armor. So, I mean, I would put it on myself, but there are plenty of robes in this game. I never did find like what I'd consider the be-all end-all of awesome robes though. Like, I found plenty of robes, but I never found that one that made me say, oh, this is the answer. Like you do in some video games, you know, like the Baldur's Gate games, there's usually ended up being one robe that would be just completely awesome. Can she charge that thing? Have you come over here. I'm going to have you go there. You shoot that. You shoot that. Oh yeah, baby. He's trying to sunder armor, but I'm over here backstabbing him. Yeah, so if any, I know a couple of people are playing along with me on this because you left comments in the comments section. And if any of you are playing along and having a hard time, maybe check out the information on pets and mounted combat and all that other stuff that I personally don't want to do because it,
Save the last one for
you know,
me.
it make the game easier, but. I mean, I've seen some of the screenshots of pets with like 74 strength and stuff like that, and I'm like, how the hell? But in fact, the Reddit people have been really cool about posting things like, what do you get? Cultist Slayer, Ranger. You guys start shooting this guy.
Make every strike count.
They've been doing a really cool job of posting pics of, like, you know, what the maximum dexterity is. Somebody posted one last week that was like the maximum dexterity, and it was in the 90s. They had everything that you could possibly get on a gnome, and it was pretty awesome just to look at it. I mean, that kind of stuff's crazy because just playing the game the way that I play it, I would never reach those numbers. But it is interesting to look at that stuff. And all right, we're down to the last room, which is good because this episode's getting a little long here. Do this. I don't think there's much left in here.
You can trust me.
This is a healing hex. All right. Do this.
The pleasantries.
All right. Is there anybody really tough in here?
Let's have some fun.
Oh, we have some things here. Okay. Healing hex. Let's see. Let's just give you a cure moderate wounds. Oh yeah, hitting and making it afraid. Let's go. Love it. And there's a trap there. Okay. Now we can signal Holgus.
I am helpful, am I not?
Yeah, you are. There's a magic bow. It was the short bow of code. It's a short bow, so. Alright, and then Holgus. The danger has passed. The mansion is clear. You're alive. Fine work. Now I will show you all my secrets that are hidden behind this bookshelf. Or behind this armoire. Follow me. Family secrets about to be revealed. So thrilling. Yes. Camellia, of course she would say that because they're her family secrets. I don't know what that little tink is for because I don't see anything in purple showing up. Gwym, what do you have? A happy family. Holgus, an unknown half-elf, and their dark-haired young daughter. Painting depicts a thin blonde boy with sickly pale skin. Holgus Gwym, 9 years of age. Yes, alright, get the full story. Paintings are right where I left them. Very good. Holgus Gwym thanks you for your help. There is something off about the paintings in front of you. The blonde-haired boy in the Gwym family colors doesn't look like Holgus in the least. The family portrait depicts Holgus alongside an unknown elf woman and a little girl who bears a striking resemblance to Camellia. Who's in the paintings, August? So you've noticed. Seems there's no point in hiding it anymore. You see, I have two secrets. Camellia is, in fact, my daughter, and I am not the real Horgus Squirm. Dun dun dun. You're not Horgus Squirm. My real name is Darian Wheat. My parents were the servants of the real Gwyrms at their mansion on the eastern edge of Mendev. The Gwyrms were generous and noble, but short-sighted. They burned through most of their fortune on charity, and when instead they should have taken better care of guarding the mansion. When I was 10 or so, I used to play in the garden with the real Horgus Squirm, who was just my age. I've no idea where the demons came from. Horgus ran to the mansion, and I bolted in the opposite direction. He was captured and killed, and I wasn't. Crusaders came from the nearest city to aid us, but I was the only one who survived. They asked my name, and I said I was Horgus Squirm. It's the whole story. Such a heart-wrenching tale, it never fails to bring tears to my eyes. You are in no position to judge me, Camellia. You're right, I'm not. A small boy in a manor under attack by demons. Such a familiar tale. Mendev has many such tales, but there are rarely any survivors. Take poor Horgus, for instance. He didn't make it. You were fortunate, Count, assuming you're not hiding anything. You were just a scared child. I have nothing but sympathy for you. Besides, your lies didn't hurt anyone. Never mind. I only like to assure you that your claim about not hurting one is absolutely correct. The vast fortune of the Gwyrms had no rightful heirs. If there had been any heirs, I would most definitely have transferred ownership to them. You committed a crime, and since then you've tried to atone, but let me guess. No matter how much good you do, the guilt stays with you. It's true. How do you know this? I also made a mistake as a child. Mine was much more serious than yours, in deed and in consequences. Many years passed before I learned to be at peace with it, so I'm in no position to judge you. It is difficult for me to speak openly about the secrets which I have kept all these years. I've been hostage to them my entire life, strange as it sounds. What are you planning to do now? First and foremost, I shall reward you handsomely for your help, and then I shall burn these portraits. I have kept them all this time out of a misplaced sentiment, but they serve no purpose now. My ravaged home will likely be picked to the bone. And this secret room will inevitably be discovered. I don't want these paintings to be seen by anyone else. I see. Gold coins, 2,000. Pleasure doing business with you. Camellia, I can tell from your face that you enjoyed finding the demons in this worthy party. I only ask one thing. Are you certain? Well then, clearly I can no longer keep you safe. Our house is destroyed, our servants scattered or dead. But now, follow me. We'll make sure that no one ever again discovers the secrets of Horgus Squirm. So off he goes. Taking down the paintings. Very nice of him to do that. And we're done. We got our $2,000, which is great if we want to buy another mercenary. Which is what I'm doing with my Lich playthrough, because with the Lich, it's harder to keep some of these companions. For instance, Scylla will abandon you in Act 5. And I don't want that to happen. So, yeah, that's not nearly as good, is it? Okay. Yeah, so. Full plate, half plate, heavy armor. Alright. Yeah, so, that character, it takes, I gotta do a little more work to get make sure I always have enough companions. This game is, I would say, notorious for the way it handles companions. You can lose companions from many deaths, and you can just also have them walk away for various reasons if you're not shooing them away yourself. And the result of all of that is you can end up with very few companions at the end of the game. Well, spoiler alert, there comes a point in Act 5 when all of your companions that aren't in your active group need to fight. So if you were like me and thought, yeah, I'm only going to worry about these 6 companions for the whole game, don't do that. We'll travel over to the Tirabade residence to end this episode. But yeah, I was a little shocked when that scene came. Fortunately, I got through it. it wasn't that hard, but still, I was thinking, I would have rather had 6 characters, 6 extras instead of 4. But since several people died, that was no good. So yeah, so my advice to you is treat all of your companions with an eye towards maintaining them, like cars that you might want to drive someday. and then and then when the moment comes and you need them for something, you'll have them. That's all I'm gonna hang out with for today on this episode. I know it's really long. I'm sorry. Thank you for everyone for sticking with me, and I'll see y'all next time. Leave questions, comments down below. Subscribe, like the channel, join my Patreon. I make Patreon posts that never get seen anywhere else. So I'll see y'all later. Thanks for watching.